Hey guys, it's me, Mrs. Chaparro, just testing out my Snapchat abilities with my phone. I have for you today a lesson on expressions, and just do the best you can. Please watch my video, take some notes, and then do the homework. There's only 5 questions. You'll do the homework in a Google form. It's on Google Classroom. It should all be right there. I think it's simple. I think I tried to make it simple. If you have any problems, I'm always here for you. Remember, stay safe and don't touch your face. Okay guys, so before we begin the video, I want to remind you that there is a sheet on Google Classroom. It's called Math Vocabulary. And in that document, there's nothing you need to do, but I'm telling you that a lot of the things that we'll be doing in algebra to start has to do with words and vocabulary and what certain things mean. For example, you guys know that when a math problem asks you to find the sum, it means to do what? That's right, it means to add. Difference means to do what? That's right, it means to subtract. But when we start talking algebra, they start throwing all kinds of things at us. So let's get right into the lesson so you can get on to the practice homework as fast as possible. So here we go. So in this lesson this week, it wants us to talk about something called an algebraic expression. Let me read to you the mathematical definition for this. It says, algebraic expressions can help us represent real-world situations and numerical relationships more compactly. Algebraic expressions are a combination of variables, numbers, and at least one operation. So variables, numbers, and one operation. Well, I've taught you what a variable is. Remember, a variable is a letter in math that represents a number. So it could be an X, it could be a T, it could be a Z, it could be an R, but it represents a number. So then if you go back up to your definition, you have variable and a number. So it's just any old number like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15, or higher or lower, or there in between, in at least one operation. So an operation in this case is like, an operation would be like addition, subtraction, division, or multiplication. Okay? So, and don't get all excited because it's really not as hard as you want to make yourself think it is to start. So you guys do algebra all the time. For example, say your mom gives you $10 and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really craving a candy bar. I want to buy as many candy bars as I can for $10. Well, if every candy bar at the gas station costs $2 and you only have $10, well, you can maybe get 3 or 4 candy bars depending on if the guy at the gas station is going to charge you taxes or not. So you guys do this all the time and you don't even know it. So let's get on with some practice. Let's go here. Okay, so here's the first thing we need to practice. It says, match the verbal phrase with the algebraic expression. So let's go through these. Number 1, it says 3 more than n. Well, we could put a number on that. We know, if we've looked at our math vocabulary, that the term more than means addition. And then we know that it wants us to add that to n. So if we look at our options, we have A, B, C, and D. You're looking for an option that contains these 3 things. Now, since it's addition, we know from our lessons before spring break that it doesn't have to be in this order. So if we look through here, if we're looking through this list, we see that we do have n plus 3. And that's the same thing as 3 plus n. So number 1 would be C. Okay. Now, let's look at number 2. So number 2 says half of a number P. Well, let's think about this. We know that 1/2 looks like that. We know from our math vocabulary that the word of wants us to multiply, and then it wants us to throw in the letter P. Well, if you take 1/2 and you multiply it by P, if you remember our knowledge of fractions, if you have a number and you need to make it into a fraction, you put it over a 1 and you multiply across, you get P over 2. That's a tough one. So can we find in our list, does number 2 match up to any of the ones in our lists? It does, you're right, it matches up to A, so number 2 is A. Okay, number 3. It says the difference of n and 3. So difference means to subtract. So it wants us to find the difference between n and 3. So do we have a match? Yes, we do. It's B. Okay, number 4. Now you could guess on number 4, guys, but let's do the 7th grade thing and think about it. Twice the number P. Well, we know that twice means 2, and it wants twice the number P. So that means that it wants us to multiply 2 times P. And remember, when you write a number next to a variable and they're hugging, it means multiplication. So of course 4 is D. Okay, let's try a few more. It says, write the following verbal phrases as mathematical expressions. So it's the same thing we just did, but there are no multiple choice answers. What we're going to do is read through here and come up with our own expression without any multiple choice answers to choose from. So number 7 says 16 more than T. So we have our number. Remember our algebraic expression has a number in it. An operation, this would be plus because it says more, and our variable is T. So 16 more than T. Okay, number 8, twice the number Q. Well, we just did that one on the last page. Remember, twice is the number 2, and you put the variable right next to it to represent multiplication, 2Q. Okay. Number 9, 11 less than W. Well, we have our number, that's 11. Less means subtract, and our variable is W. So on the line, I need to see 11 minus W. Okay. Number 10 says the number S is increased by 2. Okay, so don't get scared now. The number S, it just wants you to write the variable. If you increase something, what do? Do you add or subtract? That's right, you add. Here is our algebraic expression, s plus 2. Okay. Oh, we'll go back for a minute. That went too fast. So, I want you to stop right now and think about these 4 on your own. Just try them. I'm not going to check them. There's no place for you to turn them in. But just try before you get to your homework and before you have to turn something in for a grade. Okay? So, as always, you should have paused this video during the course of me talking so you can think about things. You know this from class. If you have questions, please email me or text me or see me on Zoom on Wednesday. And be safe, kids, and don't touch your face. Goodbye now, friends.